Alright guys, how's it going? Emmett here, back in another video. Today we're going to be discussing the main difference between amateurs and professionals when it comes to social media, specifically here in the mortgage space. If you're watching this, you're likely a mortgage broker. The majority of my viewers are. If you're not, there'll still be value in this one because it is talking about general strategies, but I want this to be focused and catered to the majority of my audience, which is mortgage brokers. Don't want to waste any more time, just going to jump straight into it and go through a couple of bullet points which I've done out here, which will hopefully help you kickstart your own journey and maybe highlight any mistakes or obviously positives that you're already implementing into your business. So let's get into it. So the first point that I wanted to cover was having a clear personal brand strategy versus having aimless Canva posts or graphic designs or things like that. And I have a couple of examples here so you can see what I mean by this. And before I get into it, I want to touch on this and say that in the mortgage industry specifically, and for all businesses online, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, the main route of generating clients was websites. Okay, it was Google. It was, let me search up this service that I need, this person that I need, this thing that I want to buy on Google. And people would go ahead, they'd search up the thing that they want or the person that they want to work with, and they'd find them through a website and they'd submit their name or something like that. And that's fine. It worked back then and it still works now. I'm not saying it doesn't, but we are increasingly moving towards an economy and a certain market whereby people will be brought things on a silver platter to them through the form of algorithms, through the form of entertainment, through sort of Trojan horse approaches whereby they may just be scrolling on Instagram, they may just be scrolling on Facebook, and they start to interact with people that they like, people that they enjoy to watch, and you can take advantage of this for the purposes of business as well. It doesn't just have to be entertainment, but you do need to use the right strategy and use the right bait to attract the right fish, as I always like to say. So with that out of the way, here are some examples of specifically what I would mean. So when I talk about a clear personal brand strategy, your profile picture is obviously going to be just yourself as an individual. If you are self-employed or if you're on the company, it'll be your face, it'll be the broker's face, as opposed to just your logo. For example, that would probably be the biggest one, because your profile picture it's the ethos, it's the message behind your company, who runs this. You can see very clearly from the profile picture if it's somebody that you like, has a big, nice, warm smile, compared to just some logo that's been zoomed in on too much or has the wrong aspect ratio or something like that. It's a big one that I see. Professional highlight covers, that's another one. So highlight covers, this is essentially just your stories which have sort of been archived on the profile. A story that only lasts 24 hours, you can put it to the profile as a highlight cover. And generally speaking, most people don't even know about not generally speaking, but there are still people who are on social media that don't know about these, whereas a professional is going to want to have very aesthetic and very visually pleasing highlight covers on their account. And lastly, insight into daily life and personal snippets versus service-based posts. So personal brand, when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, it is very much about the person. You want to be able to build a relationship with people by being authentic, by being yourself, by obviously portraying that you're the ultimate professional as well, but showing that there is a personal side too, and you can do that through personal snippets into your life as well, daily insights, things like that, to get people to like, know and trust you, and trust that you can solve their problems and bring them the solution that they want. So that is ultimately the goal here, and we don't just have to do it through service-based posts. You don't just have to say, oh, I'm an advisor, I can help you get a mortgage, because so can this advisor and that advisor and every other advisor, because if you can't, then what are you doing? But it's about getting that edge, standing out, getting away from the homogeneous side of mortgage advice, whereby you're just, oh, I can get you a mortgage deal. Yeah, this guy can get me a mortgage deal as well, and I like his videos and I laugh at them occasionally. Small gains, but they do make a difference, especially in today's world where people are so entrenched in their phones and social media all the time. So that is the main one that I want to go ahead and initially open this up with. So it's about having that personal connection through your Instagram, Facebook, as opposed to just sort of like a secondary website where there's just information about your service. You can build that personal connection, build that trust, and ultimately win more business through it as well. Now the second point is consistency and variety. So this is consistency of posts and your actual overall commitment to it, as well as the variety of the posts that you do. Like I said, you can't just do, well, not that people are still just doing service-based posts, oh, I'm an advisor, I can get you a mortgage. Whereas people with proper professional strategies are coming forward with service-based posts, testimonial-based posts, personal posts, company culture posts, all of this sort of stuff. So there's lots of different things that you can do. But like I say, regular, consistent posts, Not only they maintain frequent touch points with your clients. People love familiarity. If you're constantly popping up on their feed, they're going to be thinking about you whenever they're at work, whenever they're on the train, whenever they're on a bus. Anytime that they check their phone, if they're seeing you, they're thinking of you. And if you're able to do it in the right way, they'll be getting to like, know, and trust you, and trust in your service as well. And that's versus, so an amateur approach would be just when you feel like it, tick box posts. So it's like, let's say, maybe you'll be able to relate to this, I don't know. Every couple of days or every couple of weeks, you'll be thinking, oh, I need to post on social media again. And you'll maybe post 2 or 3 times for 3 days in a row, and then it'll fall off. You'll forget about it. It'll fall off the bandwagon. You'll get inconsistent, and then maybe 3 weeks later, you think, "Oh, social media," and you'll make a couple of posts, and then maybe you disappear for a week, and then it's a month, and it's just on and off, infrequent. When you feel like it, tick box posts. Whereas you'd rather just do out a proper strategy consistently. You can even just bulk record everything, bulk post everything, and schedule it out across a month, which is probably less commitment than the infrequent ones. But it's about having that proper consistency so that your clients and viewers are going to see this on a consistent basis over time. When it comes to variety, varying locations, so for example, I'm filming now, I'm in a white room here, but if you check the rest of my videos, some of them will be with a proper camera and lighting setup. Some of them won't even be without the laptop screen here in front of you. It'll just be me speaking to the camera. If you check my Instagram, some of those are in my room, some of them are in an office building, some of them are just out and about. There's loads of variety there, and you will see this with professionals with a proper personal brand as well, as opposed to just sitting in the same one room and all of your videos just being you talking to a camera with a white wall in the background. Outing myself with that one a little bit, but you want to vary that up, and you can do photos, so personal photos. Christmas has just passed, putting up a photo of you with the family over Christmas, that would do brilliant because it shows that personal insight. Stories, that's another one, and it's actually one that I want to highlight now at the moment because Instagram have recently released that the majority of their users' time are spent on stories, not on reels, not on photos, not scrolling, not just stories. That is where the majority of time is spent. So if you want to get the most leverage from what you're doing, you want to be doing consistent story posts and story marketing as well. Carousels, different type of photo, client results, things like that. There's so much variety that you can go into, and it would only take watching a quick video. If you want me to make one, I'll make one, don't worry. But if you want that straight away, you're gonna have to go and watch another one. And that's versus obviously an amateur approach, which is going to be the same Canva templates, same old out-of-date photos from 5 to 10 years ago. That's something I see quite often, whereby people don't have personal photos themselves, they don't have company photos, so they'll just recycle the same ones from 10 years ago. Maybe they haven't even posted for 10 years, who knows. And that's really going to damage your reputation because people will be seeing your account and they'll be thinking, is this business even open? And you could definitely miss out on a couple of messages there from people who could be coming on looking for business but being scared away because they don't trust your appearance, they don't trust your account, and they don't think that you're reputable based off your Instagram or Facebook profiles. And again, same Canva templates. The truth is people are going to appreciate being able to see all the personal sides that I've just talked about, as opposed to just a Canva template or a graphic design saying, I'm an advisor, I can get you a mortgage, or is it time to remortgage, or something like that. The personal insight will get so much more leverage. Even just you saying on video, do you need a mortgage, I'm an advisor, will get you more leverage than a Canva template. So it's just something to be careful about. And I did go ahead, I went and got some examples for this. So I'll go through probably one of the biggest professionals in the space. I'm sure you all know if you're watching this, Gary Diaz. I know he does a lot of social media marketing with his stuff, so I got 3 posts at random. This is a personal insight, him at the gym. I'm sure everybody watching this has some sort of hobby that they do outside of work. You can go ahead, take a photo, take a video with that, and throw that up on your Instagram or your Facebook. This was a snippet from a podcast, so essentially something you can do. You can go on a podcast, you can do a long form video like I'm even doing now. I'll probably go ahead and leverage this into short form clips, and you can take those and you can cut them up whereby you'll discuss a key segment of data within that long form video, chop it up into smaller videos and post them and redistribute them across your other platforms, for example Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of those short form platforms, and funnel people back towards your longer form content where they'll get nurtured and begin to trust that you can actually solve their problems, get to know you and get to like you as well. And then another video, this was a profile audit, so that's getting creative. It's providing value on the spot and it's showing your expertise as well and building that authority, all while helping people and putting yourself in a better position to secure business. Another example that we had here, now if the owner of this account is watching. I want to preface this by saying there's no hard feelings here in the slightest. But I've been following your page for a while, and it was one that I wanted to highlight when it comes to specifically graphic designs. Obviously, I'm not going to name you here, but as we can see, it's very consistent sort of style or feel, and it's very much just graphic design posts. The odds on somebody, for example, getting income protection from just seeing a photo, which they can scroll past in a second, isn't really going to grab their attention. The income protection, it blends in with the background. It's difficult to read. The odds on that hooking someone's attention and getting them more inclined to buy, as opposed to 6 short form snippets talking about the importance of income protection. One of them talking about results, one of them talking about a client journey, one of them talking about your expertise. I could go on. And people watching all of those 6 short form snippets and then going ahead and watching your full YouTube video, which lasts for an hour, the odds on you converting someone is so much higher than just a graphic design post saying everyone needs income protection. So that's what I mean by having that consistency and variety, having that personal touch, as opposed to just infrequent graphic design posts which aren't going to really catch attention or build that leverage when it comes to trust, getting to know you, getting to like you. So points 1 and 2 I hope have been made by this stage. Now, the third one, this is more of an attitude one than anything. Professionals will view social media as part of their business, whereas amateurs will view it as a pointless side gig, whereby the majority of their business is in person, in meetings, on phone calls and things like that. And that's fine, but quite often it's just fear of change and changing the way that you do things, whilst ultimately subconsciously recognizing that social media could be something that could ultimately help your business. You just don't want to make the commitment and do the work to get it up and running in the first place. So as we can see, when it is obviously part of the business, it's consistent inputs along a meaningful and well thought out plan and strategy for growth. And that's obviously going to produce consistent outputs, which will make it an integral part of the business whenever it's producing clients. And again, key to business maintenance and growth for professionals versus just posting periodically with no clear strategy, plan, goal, or vision. Because obviously, like I said, subconsciously, no, it's the new craze, it's where people are doing well, but kind of just doing it periodically with no clear strategy, no clear plan, no thought out, consistent strategy with this, and with no vision or plan, you will fail. What's the saying? Fail to plan, plan to fail. One of the two, one of the same. You want to be careful. You want to make sure that you know where you're going, what you want to achieve, and why you're doing what you're doing, because you want to generate clients on the back of this. So how are you going to generate clients? Let's go through this. So just off the top of my head, Google recently did a study saying that before somebody is likely to buy, they'll want to watch 8 to 11 hours of your content across 4 different platforms. So we can reverse engineer this, okay? Let's say, for example, you want to sign 3 clients. All right, that means roughly you're going to need, let's just double the content inputs. You're going to need 16 to 22 hours of content, long form. You can do that on YouTube. We can take away now, we're just going to include the short form content as well here. So 15 to 20 hours of long form content, as well as the short form content as well, across 3 other different platforms. Let's go ahead, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. So you can go ahead, reverse engineer the level of inputs that you need to get now your short form content, as well as the inputs that you'll need to get the 15 to 20 hours of YouTube content. And you can go ahead and you can do that over the course of the next 2 or 3 months. And that will be enough to repeatedly have people come into this content funnel, whereby they watch their short form stuff, go to your long form stuff, and you can rely on that over time. Obviously, it's going to outdate itself after 3-4 months. But like I said, those consistent inputs and having it as part of the business that can consistently grow and generate you clients is where you want to be, as opposed to just pointlessly doing it with no plan, no strategy, and just sort of being aimless. We all want that goal, and we want that clear path to a desired outcome. And the desired outcome that we all want is more clients. So that's that. Now the last one is having effective paid strategies. Now this is one that people very much raise an eyebrow to, especially in the mortgage space. But I want to touch on this because it's very important. But a strategic ad campaign, this is obviously a professional's viewpoint. They would have a strategic ad campaign with the correct metric management system, feedback from results, and iteration over time. Versus spending £100 on boosted posts and calling it a good week because you invested in the growth of the business. than going home with a smile because you got 2,000 impressions with 0 leads. Just had a bit of fun with that one. But obviously the last thing you want to be doing is boosting posts, especially for mortgage advice. If there's no clear strategy behind the type of people that you want to draw in, the type of people that you want to hook, how you're going to nurture those guys over time, how you're going to get in touch with them, it's pointless. If you can't generate a lead off the back of your paid advertising, it's pointless. And whenever I say a lead, I mean a valid phone number and a valid name. Or you can do email if you like, but obviously a phone number is going to be so much more effective. And you can't do that by boosting posts. And you can't target them in any, not that you can necessarily target them so much with a paid advertising campaign, but at least you'll have Facebook's audience learning algorithms playing in your favor. With a boosted post, it's more just get me as many impressions as possible, but they're not the right type. Don't boost your posts, guys. Like, just really don't boost your posts. Like, come over here. This is from a proper paid ad strategy, implementing a proper strategy with proper hooks, proper metric management systems, proper feedback and iterations over time to produce this. As we can see here, these are the leads. So this was the last week of November. This were the first 2 weeks of December. So 3 weeks, that's what? 135 leads in 3 weeks. The cost per lead was about £6. So I'll let you do the math on how that stacks up. But for 2 weeks of that, we were getting under £4 cost per leads. There was obviously just a bit of investment to get to that stage in the first place. And then as far as the pipeline goes, 63 booked calls, 63 booked calls. Actually think about that. And with an opportunity value of 150k out of those calls, and the figures and the fact finding that was done off the back of those guys. So you're not going to get that with 2,000 impressions, folks. I hope that I've really made the point here, and I hope that those numbers can speak for themselves, because it's all well and good me talking about this and blabbering on for 15 minutes, but those numbers don't lie. And I really hope that this drills the point home that having a proper feedback system when it comes to metrics, when it comes to iterating your ads over time, is going to get you better performance than just boosting a graphic design post and calling yourself happy because you got 10 new followers. 3 of them are from Mumbai, 6 from Sydney, and the other one from Timbuktu. I hope I've made my point. But if you do have a paid ad strategy, ask yourself this. What is my North Star KPI for ad performance? What is it? What's your answer? If you don't have an immediate one, you're absolutely leaving money on the table. Without a doubt. If you don't know what you're optimizing your ads for, and you don't know what your North Star KPI is, then you're in trouble. And if you said, what the hell does that mean? Then I would recommend that you stop investing in paid ads and learn how to run them properly first, because you want to get a return on your investment in paid ads. And if you don't have a North Star KPI for ad performance, if you don't actually know your key performance indicators when it comes to your ads, and you don't know how well they're doing, then you might as well just be throwing money away with no actual measure of how much is coming back into the business. It's pointless, it's ridiculous. If you can't measure and quantify this through metrics, then it's crazy. There's no point investing in that if you can't actually track it. So it's very important that you do. And by the way, this is your cost per lead. I'll just answer it for you. Your cost per lead is ultimately the most important one. Ideally, you want that to be under £10. 15 is okay. 20, you're raising your eyebrows. Anything over 20, it's a little bit expensive. You probably don't want to be investing in that. And I know there's somebody slick out there who's saying, oh, but Emmett, just because you're getting a lead doesn't mean you're going to book an appointment and get return on investment. Yes, it gets technical. You can go into appointment booking rate, show up rate, close rate and things like that, but specifically for the ad performance, cost per lead, in terms of like what's within Facebook and that you can track on Facebook, cost per lead is what you're going to want to optimize for in terms of volume of people coming in. So I hope that I've made my point and really drilled that home. I put the paid campaign, the paid advertising part last, because it's where you can generate the most leads in the shortest amount of time from. And if you're looking for the most leverage for your time and your money, it's going to be in paid ads. But obviously it's a long-term play when it comes to the organic side of things. But if you get into social media, it should be a long-term play anyway. So combining the two is where you'll see the best. Your organic strategy will improve your paid ads, and your paid ads will improve your organic strategy. They work hand in hand, and they both can generate some real good returns for your business. So that is that, guys. Amateurs versus pros on social media in the mortgage space. If you can resonate with any of those, then I hope that you fell on the side of the professionals, fell on the side of the amateurs. I want to help, and no, this isn't like a Trojan horse thing. Like, full transparency, there is a link to work with me in the bio, but you don't have to click it. I'm happy to help people out for free. If you want to send me over a message with anything in particular that caught your interest in this video or that you're unsure about, send me a message on Instagram. It's again linked in the bio, and I'll help you out with anything straight away. Just send me over a message and I'll get that sorted for you. But if you're still with me, I appreciate you tuning in for all this time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you took some valuable advice from it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one as well. All the best, guys.